Happy 2025, pen friends. New year, new pens. Today, I'm going to show you the new Kakuno line with these gorgeous colors. We're going to ink one together. I'm going to show you some ink pairings that I have already matched with these, and I'm going to explain my love for this beautiful, unassuming, understated, underrated Pilot Kakuno. And I love this fountain pen so much. I received this luckily through a gift exchange with one of my Instagram friends, Jenny. Thank you so much. I love this pen so much. And this was a pen that caught me by surprise. I did not think that I was going to love it as much as I do. And yeah, I knew about the Pilot Kakuno, but it just, you know, that saying, the right things will find you at the right time. When it comes to like movies, books, maybe people, situations, this pen found me at the right moment, at the right time. And I love it so much. I love the Pilot Kakuno so much. To catch you up on speed here with my last few videos, that after I received this gift exchange, I got my own Pilot Kakuno because I had some Amazon gift cards after the holiday season. So I got the medium nib, and it's pretty much is the same body, just different color. This is a dark gray, and then the nib is different. It is wetter, but surprisingly with this fine nib, I really enjoyed it. So I did not hesitate to jump on this new collection that Pilots came out with, and this is their Madoromi line. From what I saw on jet pens, it means in Japanese it's like sleepy or drowsy. So I love these colors. I have 4 of them. I'm going to show you. These are already boxed out of the box. So the blue one, I think they have 5. Yeah, they have 5 colors, but I didn't care for the light blue, but I got this blue because it reminds me of like a blue purple. And well, let me get the boxes out of the way. These aren't really important because I'm going to do an unboxing with this. I just wanted to show you the colors. This is the medium nib. What I really like about these pens, it has the gold plated nib. And you know, I'm a sucker for gold, and it has this cute little smiley face. So I have this color. Next, this is what they refer to as brown, but it comes off like a mauve, a beautiful dusty pinkish, light pink. And this is the fine. All of them are in the fine nib, with the exception of the blue. And then this is like a pearlescent, it's like a beautiful, it's just like a light pearl to me, but I think they call it just white. Is it white here? It doesn't say. Yeah. So this is beautiful. And to compare, oh, and then the last one, I wanted to unbox this here with you. This is how it looks. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say brown? No, I'm sorry. This is the brown. My apologies. This is they referred this as the pink, of course. I forgot. Yeah, so blue, pink, white, and this is what they refer to as brown. But as you'll see, taking this out, this is how it looks in the box. And then the cartridge, they all come with one black ink cartridge here that you can just tear open. And it is just easy to use. That's why I just love this fountain pen. It's very beginner friendly and easy to use. You just pretty much use this round portion here, and then you puncture the ink through there. You want to, you know, I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to fill it up with a different ink, but you push it down until you could feel that it's pretty, you know, set in there, and then allow a few minutes for the ink to actually go through the feed here. Let me see. Does this come out? Let me see if I didn't even check to see if the gold nibs come out. I'm afraid to take it out, but yeah, give it a few minutes to go through, and then it will be ready to go. So this is, again, the brown color, but it reminds me of a nice little hazy, like a hazy gray, I would say. It's like a, yeah, hazy grayish, darker, it's like a lilac gray. Beautiful. So they all have this gold nib, and you can get them in the fine. Is it extra fine, fine, and medium? Or is it, I think for right now, I think it's just fine and medium. Oh, why am I turning it? I like this snap closure. And then comparing it to the dark gray that I have, you can see it's just lighter. The size and the feel of the Kakunos are exactly the same, but it's just the new color and the gold nib. Look at me acting like I'm a Kakuno professional. I've only been using these for a week and here I am. Okay, so I am going to show you what I have these inked with, and I'm going to ink this one up with you guys because I'm curious to know how a particular ink will look. I wanted to hurry up and get this video out here just in case these sell out, because I'm pretty sure these are going to be very popular. Now, going through my ink log, let's go with, okay, this light one. So this light one, when I saw this, I already knew what I was going to ink this up with. And one of my goals for 2025 is to like use it or lose it. I'm trying to use up my little humble ink collection. I don't have a lot, but the ones I do have, I really need to start using them or sell them eventually. So that's another goal I have for the new year. Is like, okay, if I know that color is not calling to me, I could, sell it or give off little samples here and there, because I don't need to keep hoarding. So my ink log, okay, here it is. I have this inked with Sailor's Seki color. I knew right away when I saw this, I already knew. And yep, I have this inked up. I even did a little test down here, and not here, not all this. This is from a different time, but down here. This is on Cosmo paper, but I thought this ink was just perfect. I'm just going to scribble and then yeah. So this ink, the Sailor Seki ink, I think this is pretty accurate on the bottle. It depends on what type of paper you use, but it comes off like a very light lavender gray. It's like a lavender gray. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. But depending on the papers, the paper brand, you can see a little bit of the green that comes through. So it really, right here, you can see a little bit of the shading with this green. It's interesting. So that's what I have this inked with. And then for the pink color, this one, I think I'm going to change out because I'm not sure if it's my sample, but I actually have it inked up with Lady Rose by Ferris Wheel Press. And while I don't actually have the bottle, I actually had this as a sample. So I have a little ink sample that I've had for like a year. I just thought of this because I was going through my stash and I was like, oh, I could use that. However, when I went to go scribble with it, I'm not sure if maybe this nib is just too fine, or maybe this ink is just meant to be like very light. Let me try again. I gave it a few minutes to go through the feed. Yeah, it's just too light for me. Again, I don't know. I don't think ink, is going to, I I don't think the ink properties would change within the year that I received the sample, but I think this type of ink would be best with like medium or broad nibs, not this Kakuno, at least in my experience for the fine. So although I thought this pairing was perfect and beautiful, I'm going to have to change it out. So, but I still love the body. This is a beautiful, again, like dusty powder pink. And then this blue, this one I have inked with, oh, you know what? This Sailor Haha, this would actually look nice with the other blue from their Drowsy line. There's a brighter blue. I think this would be a good match. But I have this inked with, what do I have this? Oh, my newest ink that I got. It just came in the mail this week because I typically don't gravitate towards like bright blue inks, but I realized I need at least a good classic blue. So this is the Lennon Toolbar in Night Sky. And it looks beautiful. It comes off like a dreamy blue. Not too bright, not too dark. It has like this dreamy, hazy blue look to it. Yeah, I think this is really good for me. Soft on the eyes for my preference. And it writes beautifully with this medium nib. So I'm going to have to see, if I can take off this nib and change it and then put it in the other body. But maybe I can just buy a separate Pilot nib. But to show you how this looks, it's just so smooth. Yeah, so I like it with this Lennon toolbar. And last but not least, we have the brown. So the brown, or what they call the brown, again, it's lighter than the gray. I am going to ink it with, speaking of gray, ta-da, Diamine. Now, I've always had Diamine inked in medium size nibs, specifically my Banus, but this is how it looks. And this was like one of my core four. I've had this in my collection since the beginning, and I use this regularly. Technically, this you could, I think any one of these would look beautiful with Earl Grey. The dusty pink, this white. Ooh, the white would look good. Even the blue would look good. But I think this is a better match. They're brown. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use your own ink cartridge if you're a beginner like myself, and all of this may seem intimidating like it did for me in the beginning of my journey. Now, it's really easy. You saw how this came with the cartridge, right? So I have one here, an empty one that was originally from this pack of Pilot. This I've had since my Pilot Metropolitan days. That was my very first fountain pen. I've since sold that, but I've had this in my little stash for one day, and the day has come. So here is where, when you puncture the ink, it has this little, holder thing to keep the ink in there. And what I did with all of those, I just got my tweezers, and I tried looking, does Pilot sell empty cartridges, their brand? Because I like, this size. Pilot has like this distinctive size. So I tried looking on Amazon. I don't know if they sell like empty cartridges like these, but I just took that little, the closure out with some tweezers. You get this straight edge, or like the blunt tip syringe, and get your ink of choice. So I did that for all of the inks here. And then my sample, okay. I mean, this is really perfect too, because if you do get like samples from retailers, it fits perfectly in here, and then you can just suck it out. Or if you have like bigger bottles like this is my very first fountain pen ink, Noodler's ink, Heart of Darkness. You can, it's just easy to fill it from the bottle. So you have your little syringe, and all you do is get your ink. With these, you won't actually need that much, but this actually holds a lot, this size. And then you just push this down. Ta-da! And you see that it, oh, I didn't grab a napkin. Hold on. Do I have one? Yeah, you just, okay, let me put this off to the side. Now, oh, I should have had this all out. Unscrew this, and then you want to obviously keep this upright because you don't want to spill that ink, but you just snap that into here like this, and then you can see the ink. It will go into the feed. So while that is working, let me show you how it looks. Again, we're gonna give it some time to go through the feed. On this one, the gray, right here, I'm trying to look. Can I change that out? It looks like it's, I'm scared. Oops. I'm pretty sure I could. Okay, but what's nice is this, you just squeeze this tip and you can change it out here. And this is easy to clean out as well. So when you clean this, you can put it in some water. That's what I did. And then to make sure it's thoroughly dry, I just got some good quality Q-tips. You don't want like the cheap ones because then they'll leave that little bit of cotton strings. So I just got some the Q-tips. Yeah, that's how I dry it out. But you can change out these nibs. So maybe if you want the medium in a different, you want to switch it out in this body, you want the fine, vice versa. So you can switch those out. So that makes it very convenient. And then same with the cartridge too. I should have showed you, but when I was cleaning out the old one and I was drying it out, I saw there was still some water up here. So I just got the Q-tip and then I got some of the remaining water out of there. So let's see if this is ready to go. Just because Diamine tends to be a wetter ink, I just find this cap so satisfying. I like how it snaps, and I love how budget friendly this pen is. Again, I did not expect myself to love this little Pilot Kakuno as much as I do. It's very budget friendly. These are currently retailing, depending on the retailer, anywhere from like $15 to $20, which I still think is pretty fair. But you can maybe find like the clear body one and the older like colors on Amazon, maybe like anywhere from $10 to $15, which I still think is pretty fair because these nibs write beautifully. Here's a budget-friendly notebook if you have Daiso in your area and you want to get into fountain pens. I showed this in my last video, but Daiso, they have these nice little I guess premium notebooks with these little frame. They come in different colors, but if you can, get those, because yes, it is true that the paper quality does matter if you want the best performance with these writing tools, especially with certain inks. So let's, in the meantime, while that's working, oh my gosh, this medium nib and this Lennon ink, oh, it's beautiful. Wow, I like this blue. I did not think I was going to like it as much as I do. I might be writing with this all week. Let's take a look. Let's see how that Ferris Lady Rose is doing. Do you see how faint that is? I mean, it matches the body perfectly, but that is too light for my preference. I think that sample was like one of those. Luckily, it was just a sample. Like, it just looked good if maybe I was an illustrator and I use that for, you know, sketching. But I don't think this is something for me that I would like as a daily writer. Here is the Sailor. Sailor inks tend to be very dry in my experience, and then also from what you pen friends have confirmed. So if you like drier inks, you may like the Sailor brand. Me, I realized for now I like Diamine ink. It's like perfect because it's wet, but when I use it in a finer nib, then the nib still does not seem too fine. Like, it still comes out kind of like wetter, like juicy for my preference. Okay, so speaking of Diamine, let's see if it has it gone through yet. Okay, I noticed that sometimes when it takes a while, I don't know if you're not supposed to do this, but what I did, I kind of squeezed it a little bit, and yeah, okay, so I squeezed it like just a little bit to kind of help push it through. Okay. Now let's see how it looks. There we go. Again, I don't know if that's like, am I not supposed to do that? Oh well. Oh, that Earl Grey kind of leans on that Sailor Seki. Let me see. Hello. Okay, my handwriting, you know, it's not the fanciest, just because I'm trying to just show you. Ooh. Yeah, just as I predicted for Diamine ink, even though it's in a fine, it to me, it writes like ideally. Again, not too dry like the Sailor Seki, but this, you know, as I'm looking on this paper, the Sailor Seki and the Diamine, they look almost identical. Almost. But let's see how this looks on my Hobonichi paper, just because this year it's a lot thinner, and it tends to just kind of slide around. So let me see. Okay. You know, for some reason, I'm really liking this medium nib. Wow, it's really smooth. Now I have some Pilot ink coming on the way, so I think what I'm going to do is pair the Pilot ink with these Pilot fountain pens and see how they write in the fine nib, because normally I don't get fine, but I fell in love with it because this one, the standard cartridge, that ink is typically like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little slightly wetter for this fine nib. And yeah, I think that's it. Enough yapping about this collection. If you have added this new set or these colors to your collection, what ink pairings do you think would look best, or do you have, or that you are going to try? Feel free to leave them down in the comments so people that are looking for maybe color recommendations can give it a search, because there are so many beautiful inks out there. It could be overwhelming, especially for a newbie like myself. Like, ooh, you don't know like what brand, what color, what shade. One thing that I am hesitant to try And a few of you have asked, like, what are my thoughts on like the shimmer inks? I'm scared to use shimmer because, again, like with fine nibs, I don't know, I just don't want it to get clogged, or I don't want it to, I'm just afraid. And with my, I don't know, with my like ADHD mind, I feel like the shimmer may be a little too distracting, because not only do I have like different colors, now I have like colors and shimmer, and I have to focus on the words. So I think for me, ideally, like shimmer and glittery inks would look nice if you're using it as a header. But I could not imagine myself using like a full dedicated like journaling entry with all that shimmer. Just for me, it would just be too distracting. Now, I don't mind shimmer on my fountain pen body, but as far as like the inks go, for now, at least for now, I just haven't found the right one where it's subtle enough to not be too distracting. So that is that. I'll see you guys in the next video.